that the Black community has is, Senator Harris, if you are elected president, what would be your agenda for the Black community?
Right.
We know that
Right.
Black Americans are arrested at higher rates for
That's
marijuana.
right.
We're denied mortgages when we loans
exactly
for mortgages.
right.
There's a
That's
wealth
right.
disparity. So how do you
That's
help the
right.
Black community from
That's
the White
right.
House?
That's right. Well, the first step is to understand that the needs of Black folks are the needs of everyone, and the needs of everyone are the needs of Black folks. It is also equally important to understand that this is a country that had over 200 years of slavery.
She just gave you some word salad, y'all. See, there she go trying to lump us in with everybody else, just like the Democrats do. She ain't got no plans on doing nothing for Black people. She gonna do what the Democrats do all the time. They're gonna look out for the rainbow mob, and they're gonna look out for the illegal immigrants. That's it.
Had Jim Crow, had legalized segregation and discrimination, and now de facto segregation and discrimination. And so while our needs are like everyone else's in terms of we want our babies to be born healthy and live a happy and productive life, we care about issues of climate change, we care about issues of national security. We also know that when you look at disparities around wealth, around home ownership, around education, around who is stopped, arrested, and incarcerated in this country, there are huge disparities.
Whoa. I know you just didn't say that. You helped contribute to this shit. Your prosecutor sent innocent man to prison for 6.5 years and withheld evidence. You knew about it. On top of that, when the guy tried to file his appeal, y'all tried to block him. Your name was on the paperwork, bitch. I'm like, just carry your ass on with that bullshit. Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
Disparities based on race, and that has to be dealt with. So part of my proposal in terms of the agenda specifically for Black folks is about what we need to do, for example, around maternal mortality. I have actually sponsored a bill and intend as President of the United States to make sure it is passed around recognizing that Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die in childbirth. And when you study the issue, you know that it is not about the education level of somebody.
What she not telling you is a lot of these Black women are dying, that may be dying in childbirth because they're too old to be having goddamn children in the first place. See, nowadays, you know what I'm saying, we have women in their 40s having kids. That's too motherfucking old. See, that's not what she's telling you. See, when I was coming up, you know what I'm saying, it was an epidemic of teenage kids having kids. When I was coming up, all of a sudden now it's old women, old middle-aged ass women having kids in their later years when they shouldn't be having them. You see, when you have kids that late in life, that means your ass did something wrong. You mismanaged your motherfucking life. And that's something we need to start telling women.
Somebody, it is not about their socioeconomic level, it is literally about their race. Remember what happened to Serena. It is literally about racial bias in the medical health professions that cause people to not take Black women seriously when they walk into the door of that hospital or that emergency room in terms of how they talk about what they need. The agenda includes HBCUs, for example. I am a proud graduate of Howard University. I know that our HBCUs have raised and helped raise generations of leaders in this country and do it.
She a proud graduate of Howard University, but early in her career, she identified as a Hindu Indian.
In a very special way that is about nurturing and about creating high standards and challenging young people to be their best, not giving them any excuse, but giving them all kinds of support. So we need to do more. Yeah, I'm right now working on, and actually got it out of the Senate, and the House passed it around giving more money to HBCUs around their historic landmarks. But there's more to be done around creating incentives for more young people to go into the STEM professions through HBCUs. There is what we need to do around the point that you were raising about the economic disparities. I have a proposal that will be my first order of business when elected president, that is about lifting up middle-class working families. And what I'm proposing specifically is that families that are making $100,000 or less would get a tax credit that they would receive it up to $500 a month. This proposal, economists across the board have said, would be the most significant middle-class tax cut for American families and generations, and it would lift up 60% of Black families out of poverty.
So it does touch Black families.
Oh, absolutely,
Directly. About the middle
directly. Because when you look at the proportionality of where Black families are, you see it in terms of housing and home ownership, where white families is something, I'm going to get this generally right, but something around 70% of white families own their homes versus somewhere around 40% for Black families.
Yeah.
So you don't have to look.
What she not telling you is that most homes are meant to be occupied by two-parent homes. Around 80% of our community are ran by single-parent homes. You see, when you try to get into these nice communities or get a decent home, they want to see two-parent homes. They don't want to see single. I mean, I hate to say it, but the housing industry is like that. They don't want single women with kids. They don't want that. You see, in most cases, Black women, they have more eviction out of everybody. That's not what she's telling you. She ain't gonna tell you that.
Very hard to see that disparities exist. But you also don't have to look very hard to see this. That when we're talking about families, regardless of their color, they have an equal desire to work hard, to love their children, and allow them to have a pathway and an equal pathway to success. Black mothers, white mothers of whatever race, wake up in the middle of the night worrying about their children and their health and their well-being. And we need to address that. But I will say there's another issue that we need to address that's specific to Black families. And that is this. We cannot have a society where a father or a mother, by the time their son turns about 12 years old, has to sit down and have the talk with him about how he will be stopped or chased or arrested or even killed because of the color of his skin.
Once again, you help contribute to this shit. We need to be aware of you, motherfucker. This woman, this is the same woman who locked up so many Black men. She made a career out of locking up Black men. She locked up so many Black men, that shit took her to the next level. Giving dudes stiff charges for marijuana.
Okay.
And so how do you intend to change that from the White House? How would you change policy around that?
Part of it is that the president makes a decision about who's going to run the United States Department of Justice. Currently, under this administration, they have shut down the pattern and practice investigations that involve investigating police departments that have a pattern and practice of discrimination. Those need to be reopened and revived with vigor, because no American should want that a police department that has a history and a
shit, all your motherfucking cases need to be reopened and revived with vigor. It's proof out there on you, bitch. Guys, the point of this video is Stop giving these Democrats your vote without getting nothing in return. Them days over with. We ain't doing that shit no more. Fuck all that. And again, and guess what? You got a lot of simps out here simping for this woman, pandering to her. You know what I'm saying? Trying to shame black men into voting for her. Notice they can't give you any reason why you should vote for her. This bitch running off no policy whatsoever. Facts. She's running off no policy. Only thing she running off is she's a black woman and she's pro-choice. That's it. Guys, this is the Do the Better You channel. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. And as always, I appreciate you. On to the next one.